Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. As always, I am your host, Mikhail Tinubu. It's Tuesday, so of course you know there's more stories, sports stories from around the world to keep you entertained. We start with the reactions in Germany, as Germany fans gave a rambunctious welcome to their nation's women's football team as they returned home to Germany on Monday. Despite their 2-1 loss to England in the 2022 Women's European Championship final, coach Martina Voss-Tecklenburg and her players arrived in Frankfurt Romplantz to celebrate their achievements with football fans who flooded the square. Peter Fischer, president of this year's Europa League winner Eintracht Frankfurt, described their performance as sensational, while also warning the English of the team's return for the next World Cup. Looking back at the past weeks, German striker and captain Alexandra Popp said she was proud to be with the team on the pitch and to play such beautiful football. The response of football fans present at the event was overwhelmingly positive as well. They played amazingly. It was just brilliant. And I hope that women's football gets a real lift from this, and I think it will, one fan said. Germany were beaten 2-1 in the final at Wembley after England's Chloe Kelly snatched an extra time winner. The team suffered a blow before the final match as striker Alexandra Popp, who had scored 6 goals in 5 games in her debut Euros, suffered a muscle injury and had to pull out of the lineup and was replaced by Leah Schuler. Regarding women's football in Europe and all around the world, I think we've already agreed, and many of us are still seeing that development is taking root in the sport, and plenty of women are getting an opportunity to show what they have to offer the beautiful game. Meanwhile, in Barcelona, Jules Kounde was unveiled as their new signing on Monday and announced that they have sold a 25% stake in its audiovisual studio to digital fan token firm Socios.com. The French centre-back said he was eager to help the club with his aggressive pressing style. According to media reports, the transfer fee agreed is 55 million euros. The La Liga giant are stepping up efforts to bring in revenue so that they can sign more new players. Socios.com will come on board as a technology partner, accelerating Barca's blockchain non-fungible token and Web3 strategies. Socios.com owner and technology provider Chiliz will take a strategic stake in Barca's studio. You know that we sold 25% of Barcelona studios. We have done 2 operations related to the TV rights for a total of 25% for 25 years with 6th Street, and the sale of 25% for a total of 100 million euros of Barcelona's studios to Socios.com. If we add all these figures, that represents an important revenue for Barcelona. We understand that we are doing things right and we will be able to sign the players, Laporta said. Barca has been using several mechanisms to increase its revenue in order to offset losses, reduce debt, and fulfill La Liga's financial fair play rules. Socios.com will support Barcelona in its efforts to build new digital connections with its global fan base of 400 million. The deal comes after the club last month sold a further 15% stake in its La Liga TV rights to U.S. private equity group 6th Seed, giving 6th Street a 25% stake. The club signed Brazil winger Rafinha from Leeds United and Poland striker Robert Lewandowski from Bayern Munich, following a first investment from 6th Street when it bought a 10% stake. Laporta, who presided over one of Barcelona's most successful periods between 2003 and 2010, said in August 2021 that the club's debts totaled 1.35 billion euros, with 673 million owed to banks. In June, Barcelona approved the sale of a minority share of its licensing and merchandising division and decision of up to 25% of its income from its La Liga TV rights. The club has also signed a shirt and stadium sponsorship deal with Spotify in an agreement worth 280 million euros and approved financial plans in December to renovate Camp Nou, which will cost an estimated 1.5 billion euros. It's still being said that in some corners anyways, that Barcelona must be doing something wrong to be complaining about lacking finances to pay the players they already have the full sum of the wages they agreed to in their contracts. Meanwhile, they're going out signing deals and using that money to recruit more players. It's certainly fantastic for Barcelona fans to know that the club is still very ambitious by bringing in such new faces and high quality talent such as Rafinha and Lewandowski and now Jules Kounde. But Gary Neville recently questioned how Barcelona can justify spending such amounts on new players when they haven't paid players the full amount they're owed. In fact, regarding Frankie de Jong, whose deal to Manchester United has been stalled by the fact that, one, he doesn't want to join a club that isn't going to be playing Champions League football this season. He's also unwilling to leave Barcelona while Barcelona owe him £17 million from previous year's wages. Until that is sorted, Frankie de Jong might not move away from Barcelona this summer. Meanwhile, former world number one Luke Donald has been named captain of Team Europe for the 2023 Ryder Cup to replace Henrik Stenson, who was stripped of the role before he joined the Live Golf Invitational Series. We're delighted to announce Luke Donald as 2023 European Ryder Cup captain, Ryder Cup Europe wrote on Twitter on Monday. Stenson was removed as captain last month, hours before the Swede announced he was joining the lucrative Saudi-backed series. An Englishman, Donald later told Golf Week he would love to take over. The 44-year-old has never finished on the losing side as a player in 4 Ryder Cup appearances, winning 10.5 points from his 15 matches. He served as vice-captain when Europe regained the Ryder Cup by beating the United States in 2018. So excited and truly honored to be named European Ryder Cup captain. I'm really looking forward to the next 14 months and getting my team ready for Rome, Donald said in a tweet. Donald previously said he had not been approached to play in the Live series, but added he had turned down a broadcast role with the Breakaway League. Stenson won his first start on the Live series on Sunday in New Jersey. The Marco Simeone Golf and Country Club in Rome, Italy, will host the next edition of the biennial Ryder Cup starting in late September next year. 1 year ago, sprinter Kristina Simonkaya's life was upended when she refused to board a plane back to her native Belarus after being kicked out of the Tokyo Olympics by her team. What began as a controversy over Simonskaya's entry in the 4x400 meters relay snowballed into a defection that became one of the biggest stories of the games and highlighted the pressure Belarusian athletes face for challenging authority, forced out by her national team after criticizing coaches for entering her in an event that was not her customary distance. Simonskaya feared for her safety if she returned to Belarus and sought refuge in Poland. The 25-year-old also wants another chance to compete at the Olympics and hopes to run at the 2024 Paris Games in the 200 meters, the event she had been set to run the day after Belarus removed her from the team. She is in the process of receiving Polish citizenship and the necessary documents to compete at national team level there. Belarusians and Russians are currently barred from competing at international Olympics and athletics meets because of Moscow's actions in Ukraine. I didn't go to the Olympics to represent Lukashenko's authority, she said. I went to the Olympics to represent Belarus. And for me, Belarus does not equal Lukashenko or the authorities. In addition to being sidelined from international athletics as a Belarusian national, Simonskaya said some who had pledged their support since her defection had not followed through. Now, I think you remember Simonskaya became a symbol of resistance in Belarus, where opposition figures and those critical of the authorities have been persecuted, jailed, or fled since mass protests against leader Alexander Lukashenko in 2020. The protests, followed by a violent crackdown on demonstrators, erupted after Lukashenko seized a sixth presidential term in an election that observers say was rigged. He denies electoral fraud, of course. We're still hoping that Simonskaya can make it in time to compete for the 2024 Olympics in Paris. Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic said Saturday, July 30th, he remains hopeful he will be allowed to play at the US Open when it begins in late August, despite not being vaccinated against COVID-19. Current rules require non-US citizens to show proof of being fully vaccinated before entering the country by air from a foreign nation. He would need an exemption to play. And Djokovic, 35, said on social media Saturday that he will be ready to go should he get the okay. The Serbian's name appears on the entry list for the US Open, which will be held August 29th to September 11th in New York. He also thanked fans for their support, which undoubtedly includes their participation in a petition drive. As of Saturday morning, almost 45,000 people had signed a Change.org petition asking the U.S. Tennis Association and the federal government to reach an agreement for Djokovic, a 21-time Grand Slam winner, to be allowed to play. The USTA has said it will adhere to federal rules and won't seek an exemption for any player, even a three-time champion like Djokovic, 2011, 2015, and 2018. I just wanted to take a moment and say to all of you how grateful I am to see so many messages of support and love from all around the world these days, he wrote to fans. It feels special that people connect with my tennis career in such a loving and supportive way and wish for me to continue to compete. You might know my own opinion about this. Djokovic's choice not to get vaccinated is entirely his to make, but there are consequences for that, and everybody else who travels to the US needs a vaccination to be able to be allowed into the country. Athletes should not be made exempted from the rule. It's just the truth. Thank you for watching Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. As always, my name is Mikhail Tinubu. Remember, life is never boring with some sports. Have a wonderful day.